My phone does this thing where it makes an even smaller rectangle inside of the whole rectangle, but then, anyway. Welcome. I've wanted to do this for a while. I didn't know what form it would take, so I am just going to go for it right now. It is about 3 a.m., so I'm not going to talk very loudly. I'm going to place this bar of selenite between myself and you. Have safe, clear space then coming through from me. Something formulaic might be a little better, but what I always disliked about Sunday sermons were how repetitive and boring it was. Even when I got to the homily, which is when it would be freestyling, and it's like, this should be the most interesting part, probably, as if you're caring about what they have to say. We just got one really bad priest for a while. Moving swiftly onward. Okay. I think maybe I'll read the quote towards the end. What I'm going to do for now, though, is use these cards that have come to me themselves throughout my lifetime. They're what we'll be working with today. And as I'm doing this, just take moments to breathe and realize and remind yourself you are in a space with those that are conscious of their existence as a spiritual ball of energy existing temporarily in a human form. It makes fun sounds sometimes, especially when you put acrylic nails on. Oh, it's the rings. It's the rings. Bijou is good too. That's jewelry. Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful day here on Earth for some, and it absolutely is not for a lot of people, too. So that's our ongoing truth. And maybe your calling isn't necessarily to create heaven on earth. I like to word it that way. It's something that really spoke to me when I heard it later in life, not necessarily through when I heard it as a Christian sense of thought, or Catholic or whatever, but it really rings true when I realize the now is the only thing that is occurring ever. When we're in the past, we were in the moment there. When we're in the future, we're in the moment there. If we choose to think outside of the present moment, then we're not in that present moment. That is a choice. That is a practice, I should say, as well. Does not necessarily come naturally to a lot of us once we become adults, under the current structure of humanity as well. But I'm not here to fault anyone on where they're at on their journey, because you're in exactly the place you're supposed to be. Like, it's not for anyone to say what's right or wrong on your path. That's for you to know for yourself once you are not harming others consciously and yourself. Anyway. That is the kind of space that I would like to create, regardless of whether it is we ever actually interact in a conversational thing. I want to bring a weekly, or however often I can manage to energetically do this kind of thing, but on a consistent basis, not only for myself, but so that we have, or the people that find me have something to tether themselves to accountability wise. And I am also going to be very, very conscious about the way that I say that, because I'm not going to hold you accountable. I am only here to hold myself accountable. Again, I'm not going to take away any control of what it is that you are supposed to be in control of within your own life, and what it is you can choose to control or to surrender to. The randomness of it. And for a long time, I've lived in the when it happens thing. But I really feel like we've come to this just fully feels channeled, because I didn't even know any of this before I started talking. I've come to a point where I need to do what it is I came here to do. And I've always, in a sense, been doing that because you have to, I had to go through certain moments of growth in life to find myself in this moment here where I'm recording this, of all things. Funny enough, I did play dress up as a priest when I come home from, but like I always saw as well on like mugs or whatever, when you're Sagittarius you'll become a priest. And I was like, fuck priest. Which is a fair sentiment. However, I am, in one way, shape, or form, able to lead in a way that did not make me comfortable for a very long time. Because of the accountability, because of the responsibility of other people on me. Like, oh God, I have to show up for other people. I know I'm not the only one that feels that. Maybe it comes naturally to other people and stuff. And I have very much followed the lead for a long time. I became friends with people who were much stronger personalities than me for this reason. I wanted my relationship, the person in the relationships, to be the one making choices. Like, anyway. Yeah. What I would love to bring and afford to people in the moments that I am doing this is a space to just come back to center. And you don't even necessarily have to follow along with what it is that I say. It could be on in the background whilst you meditate, whatever helps you on your journey. But then I also feel like, oh, I'd pull a card and speak on the theme of that card, because tarot has always been something that's been a part of my life. But then it occurred to me, literally cards have been coming to me throughout my lifetime. I have about 60 something of them. These are them. Oh, the little one fell. Across the world, I have found these: Edinburgh, New York, Dublin. I haven't been across the entire world. Very, very Western places. And then there's these two little guys as well. And the first one I found had a Ben and Jerry's back on it. I found a couple of those, but we're not here to necessarily discuss all the cards today. What I've been doing, because I did not take notes the days that I found these things, is holding ones and then basically letting it tell me where it is it came from and what energy it holds, and what it is that it now wants to represent, basically, in the deck that has occurred. So is it you? Okay, no, there's one further in. Okay. So this one is the one sticking out to me, a very faded 10 of, oh, I made the frame go away. Oh, it came back in. That's none of your concern. 10 of diamonds. So allow me moments to hear it. I'd let it continue, but I feel like this amazing grasp has allowed me to get here so fast as well. It's like definitely what I would possibly equate to like the Knight of Wands energy, but they're their own things. Just like this beautiful, fucking beautiful energy. Actually slightly otherworldly, ethereal magic, rather than it being equatable to like a season or like a scene that usually is what occurs when I'm holding these cards. I almost get pulled back to like the exact piece of pavement that I found it on. I can remember the smells or like the warmth of that day, or whether it was like raining or the energy that I was in, and like that is the imagery that normally happens. This, on the other hand, was like someone with like an upper body of just incredible strength, and in a sense one that we would see as masculine, but it wasn't necessarily only a masculine energy. It was tipped towards being a masculine energy, but yeah, not fully, because what I also love when I looked down was that I saw there is a 1 and a 0, which is the one and the nothing, which is everything. I actually heard I forgot it was from that TV show, Young Sheldon, where there's this moment where he meets the numbers 1 and 0, like the binary number coding or whatever, and they speak about how the 10 commandments, or like 10 being a number that gets repeated throughout a lot of human belief systems, and it was always misunderstood that there's 10 rules or there's 10 whatever, rather than it being seen as like, oh, 1331 when I said that, the one and the nothing, which is the allness, and the nothingness, which is good and evil, which is yes and no, or male and female, or whatever, like two counterparts which actually make the wholeness of everything that exists. And there can't be something without there having first being nothing, but nothing can't exist unless something exists. Like, just fucking yeah. So I'll say what I got here, which was ease of movement, strong. Oh yeah, I didn't finish that imagery. The strong upper body, like almost Popeye, like a cartoon, with just like a circle of like air movement underneath, because they can move so fast and so defiantly in one trajectory, but they're also moving like very, very calmly in a cyclical motion towards the right, like clockwise motion, 1441, which is an energy of like drawing in when you're trying to manifest or bring in energy, and you're stirring in a cup of tea or something. You would go clockwise for positive charge, basically, and that is the direction where it's like it's moving so fast in this one cyclical motion that it's almost still. Yeah, just really steady and beautiful, and also the energy of hair, like a rabbit hair kind of hair, energy. So that it's like it was fury charged, like this entity was representing the beauty and the velocity of how much beautiful energy and creative energy and like manifesting energy comes when you transmute anger, when you transmute fury. That is a part of this existence into something positive, into strength. Yeah, that was the most important part of this card. And at first I got that it was fast, warm, being able to run uphill at speed with no problem whatsoever, very, very much. And then it was like the energy went like straight down from me to the center of the earth, like without even trying. Like it was like grounding with no boundaries, always grounded, always focused, right? easily and quickly connected in a circular movement. And then in case it helps, this is how that ended up looking. And so I don't know if that will connect with you in any way or whatever, but I would more so encourage you to know that that energy is out there for you to grasp today, to feel supported by today. And I guess when I record these, I'm going to have to try to get them up as soon as possible, although I do feel like any card pulls, any messages of whatever kind, they find us when we need to hear that message. Like, they're always timeless. And I think if one needs the recharge of certain wording, it's important to be able to re-access sometimes certain things that we've heard in a moment that we needed to hear, because there's a lot of other messages out there that are not here for our highest good. And so when we can return and access something that is for our highest good, why not? Right? Okay, and then a quote that stood out for me from a book that I am now reading, like, start to finish, because I was doing it like random articles, whichever one kind of drew my, oh look, and it's on page 13, that's fun, just because 1331 showed up earlier. Okay, which is the card that I kind of came and went from my life recently, of it being death and rebirth. Yeah. Oh, it's just fucking, where was it? I just pulled these two. Okay. Just as another added bit to this, because I'm finding the format of this, so have at it? No. Bear with me. It's the Wildwood Tarot, so they're different imagery, but it's generally same imagery, same energies within the, anyway, okay, so this is the Fool card in that deck called the Wanderer, which has this energy of, stop shining at me. Oh yeah, taking a leap of faith, blind faith, like stepping off into the void, like there is air, space, and river flowing down here, and there's also an oak, I don't know if you can see, which like has a dragon's face in it, which is cool because dragon imagery's been around for me a lot lately. And there's a rainbow ahead, signaling, the step of faith off into a journey in which you're just trusting that it's going to go the way that it needs to go, because that's the way the universe goes. That's what that signifies. And then funnily enough, this card is their tower card, right? Which is the blasted oak. This is not very good lighting. And so there's another oak tree. And I saw this and I'm like, oh my god, literally this person steps off and then they get fucking firing down to their death. Except for, if we look really closely at this person's face, they're not scared. They're not scared. In fact, they actually seem to be coming out of this bolt of lightning and diving purposely into a void. It's like the exact same energy as this, but in a way more, oh shit, this is like that almost. It's different because it's not necessarily about destruction. This is more like transmutation of energies. Maybe I'll use these to figure out what these cards all mean, because I did do the meanings for some of them so far, but this feels good. Anyway, yeah, 0 and a 16, which is 7. But just as another side note, so back to the quote that stood out to me. Where did it go? I just really liked the way that it was worded. I'm like, oh, I've heard things like this before. Okay. Nothing is comprehensible to the crowds if the hour has not yet sounded. Yeah. Is there a bit before that I could read that makes it make more sense? Our epoch, yeah, I'm going to start just like a little bit before that. Our epoch is, if that's how you say that word, by the way, epoch, is that the third term, because our epoch is that of the third term, because the divine ascension is now beginning. And that is why it is only now that our new dogmas can be clearly announced in the public square. ergo this video. Nothing is comprehensible to the crowds if the hour has not yet sounded. And so it's all about timing. It's about timing, always, but it's about timing when we hear certain things, certain ideals, certain wordings that allow it to click. If awakening, if a certain level of consciousness is on your path in this lifetime, because I'm not here to force it for a being. I'm not aware of their soul journey. You know, most importantly, love yourself, show yourself compassion, forgiveness, and acceptance, because you are the universe, and the universe deserves that. If you need an external thing to think of, that's the way I've thought about it for a long time. But you're one and the same, the one and the zero. You are the one, and you are the all, always. So love yourself. 2, 2, 2, 2. Oh my god, I gotta stop it now.